Welcome to Real Estate on the Rocks, where you get top shelf real estate conversations served straight up, never watered down. Here's your host, Dave Snowberger.
Good afternoon. I'm Dave Snowberger. Welcome to Real Estate on the Rocks. I'm joined in the studio today with Marshall Tucker.
Hello.
James Mendez.
What's going on?
James the new guy Mendez. For some reason, we've dropped the new guy.
What?
What's going on there?
Let's bring it back.
Seasoned.
Back to new guy.
Dang.
Nuevo.
So dumb. All right. Speaking of dumb, let's get into this real quick. I think I want to talk today about how to get a deal fast. You know, how do we get into this? I need money now. How are we going to do this? Well, the top shelf agents, me being Dave Snowberger, I'm going to tell you. So let's get to it. Marshall, how to get a deal fast. Let's start with number one. Hit it.
Prepare to be uncomfortable because that's what it's going to take.
So get comfortable being uncomfortable.
That's right. And
So
be
prepare.
relentless on the phone.
Relentless.
That's right. Any number you come across, you better start dialing it. You better
Right.
jump on the FSBOs and the withdrawns, the expireds. any
Back
lead
it
that you
up,
get.
buddy. Back it up. You're getting a little ahead of your skis there. Hold on here. Everybody just tuned out. This guy's telling me to call FSBOs and expireds. I'm out.
Takes activity.
Call and get in front of the best place to start when you're new is your circle of friends. You're going to hear terms like your CF, your circle of friends, your SOI, your sphere of influence, or your circle of influence. So one of those three terms, I'm sure there's a few more out there. You're going to hear them a lot. That's who you get in front of first. Those people right there, those are your friends, your family, your trusted allies out there. They're your boots on the ground that are going to put deals in front of you. They're going to be your guerrilla marketing team that's going to mention every time they hear real estate, they hear the word real estate, you've created so much top of mind awareness with them. They're going to say, you need to talk to my buddy, Dave Snowberger. You need to talk to our friend, Marshall Tucker. The rock star? No.
Yes.
The realtor. The rock star realtor. There we go.
Yeah, my first two deals was my best friend from high school and my mother. So
Yeah.
they already kind of knew I was getting my license. They kind of already had it on the horizon that they may be getting a new house soon. So that was how I gained my first two, buy and sell.
Subsequently enough, for the next 2 years, this is your only clients.
That's right. Then I went into a training and learning.
Right. And so now we've brought you into the business. 4 years later, you're, I'd say $6, $7, $8 million a year agent, and you absolutely kill it in the referral game and everything else. And it's because you did these things right here. You were able to stay in the business a little bit longer, I would say, than the ones that fail out because you did what you had to do by hitting your circle of influence, right?
That's right.
You grew up in the town. You got a lot of friends in the town. Your parents live in the town. Your parents, like everybody has to have, real estate these days. You got to have a roof over your head, right?
That's right.
Well, I guess you don't have to, but
All right. What about me? What if you go to a new town and you don't have the whole family or generations that lived in the city?
right. Well, big excuse that I get from that is that I don't have that database, and we're really referring to that circle of influence or whatever else. And it's like, okay, I get it. And so then you're going to have to really revert to, it's probably going to be a little bit more uncomfortable for you. However, you need to really get into like actionable stuff. Like I would start working open houses, which is really part of our plan here. We're going to deviate from FSBOs, expireds, withdrawals. We're going to talk about all this stuff in a second. But one of the best ways for you to do is just to get out and meet people. Meet people in the grocery stores, meet agents first, get connected with people, go to networking events, go to meetups. Go to meetup.com and look for meetups around with things that are interested in. And for you would be, like shoes and tight jeans and
Books.
hair gel.
Running. Meet someone at the library.
Yeah. But I'm sure there's plenty of shoe groups or tight jean groups out there that you can mesh up with.
But you said you don't know anyone in this town. Even for someone like me who knows half the town, I had to get over the hump of calling people who I knew because I never would call them to begin with. Does that make sense? So I never would call them. So I felt like once I started calling them, they already could see through everything. Like, oh, he's calling me for a house.
Right, that's projecting.
Projecting heavily. But I did it as a new agent because I would never call people. I just bump into people everywhere I went across town.
They don't
now
want to talk to me.
Pick up the phone to call them. I was like, whoa, why are you calling me, Marshall? But you start building a system. And so they started expecting that call because, Marshall calls people now.
I was honest with people.
That's right.
I told them, I'm calling you because I'm new in real estate. I had a career change. I know you've known me as the bar owner for all these years, and I took a couple of years off and enjoyed myself, and I got back in. I needed to start a new business, and I chose real estate. And so, I like to think over time, that you might use me on your next deal or whatever else. We're pretty good friends, and a lot of people shied away from that, and I didn't get any of my friends.
I'm not putting my money over there.
Yeah. Right. But, it wasn't, my friends and family didn't take off that much for my circle of influence, and I didn't hit them that much. However, I would go back to it, if I had things to do different, I would just double down on that. I'd double down on that. And then a lot of people say they don't have a database or they don't have a CRM. I don't have a high powered, database full of people. Do you have a cell phone?
Yep.
Okay. Well, how many contacts do you have in that cell phone?
A few hundred.
There you go. Now you have a few hundred people in your database that you can reach out to. They don't want to hear from me. I don't want to call them. Cool. Text them.
You got Facebook
send
too.
them a video
That's a huge database.
Well, you're stealing some of my points off the board over here.
My bad.
However, well, that's one right there is that the CRM, like people like, I don't have a CRM. It's like, actually, check this out. CRM, Facebook is your CRM.
Yeah.
If you have 400 friends or 800 friends, you have a CRM with 800 people in it. And typically, a lot of those friends that there's 800 people in your Facebook group.
Yeah.
You guys are jacking around over there with each other, like holding hands. And now I can't, I'm losing my train of thought over here. Seeing like, what are these two grown men doing over there?
I'm across the table. There's no hand holding here.
But your CRM, Facebook is your CRM.
Yeah.
And so match those with the people that you have in your phone, your cell phone, in your Apple phone or your Android or whatever. Match those two together. Now you have their phone numbers. Now you have maybe their emails. Now you can reach out to them. All
You can
your
call
marketing.
through Facebook. You don't even need their phone numbers.
Right. Now you can. When we started, you couldn't really do that.
Right. It was weird at first. You're like, what's that sound? That's my phone. What's going on here? There's someone calling me.
Right. You can FaceTime people. I get people, the sales trying to FaceTime me all the time. I think it's freaking stupid. But, I don't know those people. If it was one of my friends, I would see what they want, and a lot of times I'm like, oh, what's this dude up to? I'm not even thinking real estate. And all of a sudden it's like, hey man, my parents want to sell. Can you help? Yeah, I can help. Hey, I can't believe your parents are selling after all this time, and it strikes up some nostalgia there. And I just had one of these deals where it was one of our favorite hangout spots in high school. I just sold, I'm 46 years old. High school was quite some time ago. And his parents are just now selling after, 42 years in the house. And so it was touching to be a part of that transaction. And that all came from somebody calling me through Facebook.
Yeah.
So you do have that.
What are you doing when you're getting your CRM? If you're, going to buy another one, you're building it with all the information that Facebook already has.
Right.
All the stuff you're going to ask them or try and fill in all these blanks.
Right.
Birthdays.
You can just look at their Facebook and interact with them, and it already has all their families, all the people they're connected to, their interests, what they're doing right now, like everything.
It's way underutilized as a CRM, and a lot of times, like me, I bid off like a CRM. I think it was Lion Desk, great CRM, right?
Yeah.
But it was $25 a month. And $25 a month when you're doing zero business gets really expensive. However, just get in that database of yours in your cell phone or in your Facebook and stand out. Make people look at you. Don't be that undercover agent we talk about, that secret agent we talk about, and just start being tactful about it. Keep it really, you don't need a business page. In my opinion, business pages are dead. People love to argue with me about that. You need the business pages to run ads. Other than that, nobody cares about your business page. They're looking at your personal life. Keep it 80-20. Keep it 80% personal, 20% business. Keep a good mixture going keep it four personal post, one business post every time. Four, one. Double down a couple times, put a couple business ones out there, boom, 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 right back to personal. That's how I leverage it.
James had said Facebook, and you can see what connections they have. I remember as a new agent, I would look at people's connections, and I would see that they were already friends with 1, 2, or 3 or 4 real estate agents, and I'd be like, oh, wow, they're kind of already, taken. But what I didn't realize was that maybe I had a better relationship with that person than these other 3 or 4 agents. Maybe these 3 or 4 agents that don't even know them, and I do. So go ahead and contact them anyway. Don't let that, break your confidence or defer you around. Just go for it.
Okay, so all that was how to get a deal fast. That was just number 1. Now let's break into number 2. We talk about these subjects a lot. Once again, I'll preface it with our message never changes because it's the consistency of doing the things that we do that we give back to you on the microphones. And so FSBOs, expireds, withdrawals. Get into FSBOs, expireds, and withdrawals. Just for the sake of even just having conversations around real estate. It'll polish you when it's time to list a non-FSBO.
Yeah.
Right? It's practice. Yeah. Every day you should be practicing on FSBOs for sure. Expireds, withdrawals, those are people that already just tried to sell that didn't have success. So know what to say when you call these people. However, this is the low-hanging fruit. This is the fastest way to get somebody under contract within 30, 60, 90 days. FSBOs have their hands up. They're unrepresented sellers is how I look at them.
Yep.
Expireds, same thing. Damn, just expired. More than likely, they're not going to list with the same agent.
Yeah.
Sometimes I see some out there and like,
Their third
you've been
time.
on the market. Yeah, you've been on the market for a year and you're using the same agent. As long as you can break in that window where there's that amount of contact when they first expire, you don't know what you don't know. You don't know if they're going to have that or not. But ask the questions. You plan to list with the same agent that couldn't sell it for the past year? That doesn't seem too okay.
Start planting a little bit of doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely plant the doubt seeds. I do that all the time. You do it with your manhood all the time.
Whoa.
I'm just messing with you, James, today because he's got on some super tight jeans. Apparently, that's the style.
They look good.
They went on me.
They look like yoga pants.
I'd look like 10 pounds of yogurt in a 5-pound bag in those things. All right. Point number 3. This is probably one of the, to me, this is the best way to get a buyer quickly. And it's actually one of the best ways to get a seller. So we'll touch on those points too. However, open house events. What's that mean?
You mean not an open house?
No, not an open house.
I love open house.
No. An open house event.
Event.
Yes.
Open house event.
A grandioso event where you're going to invite the town. You're going to personally reach out to people. You're going to theme it somehow. I'm not saying, have like a Dungeons and Dragons open house or something like that.
James almost like, oh, I'm going.
I was taking a drink. I almost spit it out.
I'm not talking about that. But, put something behind it. It's something for the neighborhood. Look at maybe other agents that are possibly going to be doing open houses, or reach out to them and say, hey, look, I noticed you have a listing in the same neighborhood. What do you think about us putting together our resources and bringing as many people as we can out? Right. And obviously, if you do this and then, you're listing 123 Main Street and they're listing 456 Main Street and they take an offer, cool, good for them. That was the thing, is that you got people out there to the neighborhood. Keep doing this stuff consistently, but do a big mega agent style open house. We touch on open houses all the time. We've done a few shows about them. We've done the mega agent open house show, and we've done the regular old open house show. I would go with open house events. There's a difference between just an open house and this one. How many signs do you recommend, Marshall?
At the very minimum, 10. I mean, it really depends on the neighborhood as well. If there's a bunch of access points, you're going to need a whole lot more. If it's just one street going through, 10.
Yeah.
Put them all out in front of the house. Balloons, if you have them. Anything really that you can use to grab attention.
If you need,
one of those little wavy guys that flies around in the yard.
Marshall's going to do a video on how to tie balloons efficiently. He drills down hard on people. That,
I got a blowback on that last time I put it on there.
No pun intended.
I was cracking up. I'll show you exactly how to do it. I'll do a video. I don't think you ever did.
I did do a video.
Did you? Oh,
yeah, I got a lot of blowback on it.
That's awesome.
People were like, those things aren't recyclable and helium and all that. And it's like,
That's
well,
all right.
it gets attention.
Geez.
It gets my listing sold. I'll reuse them. Don't worry. I let the air out when I'm done and reuse them.
I had a couple extra signs on one of the open houses, and I was like, didn't know where to put them, so I just put like 3 open house signs on the front yard, all pointing to the house.
Yeah, Marshall's open houses straight up look like a garage sale. I mean, just like a flea
Little
market.
flags all in the front.
Yeah,
James, the first time, he was like, why do you have those flags up?
I'm like,
But now he uses them.
I was like, no one's gonna see these stupid little triangles at the sidewalk, and I put them in there because Marshall's like, no, you gotta put them in there. It'll catch people's eye. So I did it. Didn't really believe it. I put a couple of little open house signs and come on in things and everything. So I walked down the street because I had an extra sign, and I wanted to put it on the other corner of this intersection. So I go down, I put it in there, and I start walking back, and I stop, and I was like, dang it. You can see those things from like 7, 8, 9 houses down the street. I can see those little triangles
Looks like a
flag
party.
things. Yeah, going right down the sidewalk by the entrance of the house. I was like, dang, he's right.
And the sky's the limit, really, what you can do at an open house, because I'm going to bring some barbecue from my family's restaurant this next weekend here. You can have some lemonade to go with it. You can have face painting. You can have music. You can have anything that you can have someone come over and do for you. Do it.
Yeah, I would, like you just said there, the possibilities are endless of the stuff you can do. And so one thing I would do is that I would plan your open house event all week long. And so there was a show we did called 30 Days of Pain, where it really breaks down kind of like how your day should look for 30 days in real estate. But, working 10 to 12 hours a day, you can definitely dedicate 1 hour a day to your open house event on the weekend. Keep whatever home you're doing, try to keep it a fresh listing under really 14 days, 14 to 21 days. Keep it under that. Try to do the best areas for you. Hit the hot homes. Like 1-story homes in our area are really hot. They bring. I think our last 1-story we had a pool. Double whammy, right? I think Marshall brought in 30 some odd people that day, and then the next day on Sunday was 50. No, I'm sorry, 20 something people that equaled over 50.
Yeah.
So that was pretty awesome, and we didn't have to do much for that one.
No,
but I would do.
I was running around like crazy.
We double teamed it on the
I
following.
mean, I didn't do much.
No, on the following weekend we
From
double
where
teamed
I was
it.
sitting, I didn't do much. I was out by the pool, but and make it an event. So do a evite. You can do it that way and invite your whole database to it. There's certain lists you can buy off the internet. That can shoot out to every agent. Agents usually get annoyed by those. However, the deal is to stand out in front of people and attract to your open house. So the more you do that, what else can you do through the week to really prepare for this open house, Marsh?
Videos.
We're talking preparing. So do videos, maybe some circle prospecting. Right. So what does that mean? What is circle prospecting?
Calling around the houses around the neighborhood. What I like to do, though, is go ahead and schedule the appointments for the active ones there as well. I segued into something else, but
do what?
You're circle prospecting. You're going to door knock or whatever you're going to do to get the attention of all the homes in the area.
Right.
Plus preview the homes that are active.
Yeah, for sure. And one thing that we did all the time was we would create a book. We had it the Hot Homes book. Right.
Yep.
So I printed everything within a couple mile radius of that. And I put flames on the book, and it was super cheesy. However, it got people's attention. Like, what's in here? It says Hot Homes. What are these? It's like, well, it's all the comparable properties to over here with the picture on it. Sometimes you have to be a little bit cheap, especially if you're running your office. I think color copies for us are like 40 cents each, which is obnoxious. However, I would do these with the color pictures in there to grab their interest a little bit more. And then I would schedule the appointments. So I'm off here at 4:00. And a lot of times if you're doing a mega agent house, I would recommend doing it with 2 to 3 agents.
Yep, go with buddy.
And going after it there. And then you can have kind of a handoff system. So if someone comes in, we do want to see 4, 5, 6 Main Street. We like 1, 2, 3 Main Street. However, we want to see what this one has to offer.
Yeah.
Well, I can meet you over there after the open house.
Yep.
If the open house is till 4:00, 4:05, boom, I'll meet you there. Or I can leave now and James, can you cover me real quick?
Yep.
And typically the other agent you're doing the open house with, as long as it's a trade-off system, won't necessarily care. If they do care, you're doing an open house with the wrong agent. Drop them and find someone that really wants to work with you and work as a team to, for the greater good of getting something under contract.
Yeah. And you can highlight vacant properties, since those you can normally get at a good price. It's just an easier market to market to people. You can provide.
You don't have to make an
lists and
appointment.
stuff like that.
Just run over there.
Yep. It's a lot easier to
And I would suggest too is that if there are for sale by owners in the neighborhood, that you have already reached out to them, maybe 1, and 2, see if they're working with buyers agents.
Yeah.
And so that way, if they do want to see something's for sale by owner, we've had this happen before. Typically, if I see a for sale by owner, I have a client in my car, I drive right by it. I'm slick enough to know, like, oh, look over there, Superman. And we drive right by. Or I knew it was there in the first place.
Real quick.
Right?
Tell me what you think.
I knew it was there in the first place, so I'll take a left before, and go around it. Or since I'm the professional, I've already called them and established whether they're paying agents or not. And so I can tell the potential buyer, like, hey, look, this one's not paying agents. So, either I'm not going to get paid or, and all this. And don't be afraid to talk about money. I'm certainly not. They know that you're not working for free. They like us to work for free. However, they know that we're not working for free. And most for sale by owners these days are working with buyers agents. They have been, they're they're pretty up to date on, that's how they're going to get more traffic on their property.
Yeah. It's a fluke that they're not. I think I've ran into one person out of the hundreds in the greater Austin area that didn't want to work with an agent, period, at all.
I've listed those people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually the more obstinate they are in for sale by owners, the easier they are to list. They're obstinate for a reason, because they have a hard time saying no. So the more questions I throw at them and the more objection handlers I throw at them, the more opportunities I get to really show the reason why they should list with a professional. I do this every day. You maybe have done this once or twice, bought a house once or twice in your life, but I do this every single day.
Every day. Yeah.
Right. And so I know where to go find the low hanging fruit that wants to buy your home.
Yeah. And normally once you crack that hard exterior and the combativeness, they open up. They're a lot easier to talk to. They're, friendly. They kind of voice their frustration with things, and the conversations are significantly easier.
And you know their frustrations. I got to stop walking away from the mic. But their frustrations because you've script practiced before. You've role played before. You've called enough for sale by owners to know that their general problems are the same 5 problems over and over and over again. And usually it's lack of activity, people showing up on their doorsteps that if they do have activity that are unqualified, don't return the FSBO's call, the FSBO seller. They go to do their lead follow-up and they don't call them, they get ghosted.
Yeah.
And usually those people are just there to see something. And I'll tell you the truth, a lot of times for sale by owners are priced incorrectly. And usually it's on the high side. Yep. There's something goes to for sale by owner. If I was a profiler, I would mark that FSBO seller is typically a high D personality, the same as mine. That's how what I've seen over the course of going on hundreds of for sale by owner appointments. They usually have my same personality, right? Where they think they can do it themselves. They don't need agents. They're better than everybody, blah, blah, blah. And then the other one's attorneys.
Yeah. Or engineers.
And I've listed attorneys.
High level engineers do that too.
Yeah. Which I don't know how to talk to high-end engineers because I'm a D and there's
apparently I don't either.
I talk in bullet points and neither do you. Oh, geez. Anyway.
Analytics of it. I mean, they're just more analytical and they need all the details and specifics of it and think that they can handle it because of like I was talking to one. Don't laugh at them. That doesn't that doesn't help the conversation.
Sarcasm doesn't work with them.
Yeah. No. They just need the information, how it is and where you came to that. And so if you can provide the value and show them through the process and explain your process to get them to where they want to be, that's an easier segue into it.
Right. And I was completely kidding about not being able to work with engineers. However, I work really well with them because I can speak in bullet points and tell them what they need to know. Yeah. I'm not going to give you a 10-page essay on why you should buy this house. However, I'm going to give you 4 solid points that you can sit there and calculate in your head and say, yep, he's right, or yep, he's wrong.
Yeah.
And move on. And so, we've adapted to work with different personalities. Yeah. If nobody's ever done a DISC test, you might want to get out there and do it. I think you can find one on Tony Robbins' website.
Yep.
But you can find a free DISC test and really find out what your personality is and drill down on that and see who you adaptively work better with. And so there's the D, the I, the S, and the C, right? And so that'll break those down of really kind of where you lie and then who you work best with. And that would be a great thing. So if you want that link, we'll pop it up onto Top Shelf Agents over on Facebook real quick. However, it is time to get out of the studio. You got another episode coming up in about 10 seconds. I want to thank Mike Harrell over at Guaranteed Rate. Don't do it, Marshall.
I'm trying not to.
We have Mike Carroll over Guaranteed Rate. He is specializing right now. He's helping us win deals with this 10 to 14 day close. He is in Texas. He is in California. And he is in Alabama.
Arkansas.
Damn it. I thought I had it that time. Process was 50-50, pass or fail. I failed. Anyway, so we want to thank you so much. If you need us, Top Shelf Agents on Facebook, reach out there. We're on Instagram also. Or you can text us at 88,000. Text Top Shelf to 88,000. I start talking too fast and it's game over. So it's been a long morning. Let's get back and do some lead generation. All right, fellas, I got to roll.
We're out.
I'm out.